Hello, welcome back to 1874, a show I'm sure nobody's particularly interested in because it's another terrible result for Aston Villa Football Club, but I am your host, Dan Bardell, on my own, straight after the game. Probably not a wise thing to do, jump on straight after the game, probably get myself in trouble, but never mind. This show is sponsored by Match Bingo. Scan the QR code on the screen if you're watching via YouTube, or head to 1874.io/matchbingo. Probably not wise to do when I've got a house full of people as well and everyone hammering the internet at the same time, because everyone knows that we love a technical issue or a technical mishap on this channel. So hopefully everything is good. Can see people dropping in to the stream now, and I think everyone's pretty agitated by the result. Let ourselves down again. In all honesty, we'll not get a better chance at getting 3 points all season, but yet again, Villa, who even when they're good, struggle against 10 men. Can't do it. Can't get the result against 10 men Sunderland. Even go 1-0 up against 10 men Sunderland. But no, let's draw the game 1-1. Let's let ourselves down. And I'm a positive guy about Villa and have been positive even in times when it hasn't been positive generally over the years, but obviously always been really positive around Unai Emery and what he's doing and around the club in his time. Still back the manager to the hilt, but it's not good out there at the moment. It's not pleasant, and seeing him just walk into the tunnel before the game's ended, it's not a brilliant look from Unai. If I'm being honest, it doesn't send the right message in my opinion. Obviously, he's frustrated. Obviously, he's a winner. Obviously, he's used to winning as well, and he's won a lot of games for Aston Villa Football Club since he's been manager. But we are not at the races at all at the moment. And what I'm watching, I don't recognise this team from what I associate with Unai Emery and Aston Villa Football Club. We had a good chance, well, we had more than a good chance to get 3 points today. Obviously, when they've gone down to 10 men, it is a gift from the heavens for any other competent football team. You can say it's difficult to play against 10 men. Shouldn't be as difficult as Villa make it look against 10 men time and time again, because this isn't the first time we've struggled against a 10-men team, and we've just not kicked on. Even going 1-0 up, we've not managed to kick on and just get that second goal. Again, if I was looking for a man of the match, I think I'd probably be struggling, other than Conser, maybe with some good interventions in the first half. It isn't good. It isn't good. We probably should have nicked it at the end as well. Jadon Sancho put in a dynamite cross, and Ollie Watkins hasn't got on the end of it, and Cash has obviously come in at the back post as well. But there's just so much wrong overall with what I'm seeing at the moment. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, but to be honest, there's just way too many of you leaving comments. It's coming through too fast for me to flash anything up on the screen. At the moment, there's 279 of you here live. I just don't know. Two massive games coming up at home now. Europa League, a change of attention, a change of focus. Go on Thursday and try and win that game and get off to a good start in that competition, and then a massive home game at home to Fulham now. 3 draws, 2 defeats to open up the season with the fixtures that we've had and the circumstances that we found ourselves in today. It isn't a good start. It's not a good start at all. You have to give Sunderland a little bit of credit. I thought they were good. They're going to be a good outfit this season. I don't think they're going to go down. I don't think they're going to struggle, Sunderland. I said that before a ball was kicked up. I don't think Sunderland will struggle this season. They've managed to integrate new players really well, and in all honesty, they were just as likely to win that game than we were at 1-1. I could have seen us getting caught on the break quite easily. We're defending pretty well generally. The goal is a shocker, just passive, bad defending to switch off and let someone get the run on you and get the finish. And in all honesty, again, element of luck with us scoring. It's not come from us breaking the team down or playing intricate football. A goal is a goal, but the 2 goals we've scored this week have been goalkeeping errors, and today again, that's a goalkeeping error for me. His hand shape, like why he's tried to punch that instead of just trying to bat it away with his hands. I've absolutely no idea if he does that. He saves that shot. Fair play to Kashi for having a go. We're not getting enough shots off. That's part of the problem of why we're not scoring. Captain K says here, we never beat 10 men ever. We just don't do it. Like I've said, even when we're a good outfit, 10 men seems to be something that we just can't do. So at the moment, even when we're struggling, I didn't expect us to win that game. It's a really, really sorry state of affairs out there at the moment. Look, Villa have had some really, really bad times in the past where the club has been directionless and going nowhere. Like, that isn't what this is, but something is clearly wrong with the start that we've had this season. And just too many mediocre, average performances out there. Again, people not taking responsibility, not doing enough to make stuff happen. Like I say, I'll give Cash credit because he had a shot, and that seems to be like the best I can hope for at the moment. Is that someone might just have a shot, and he's done that. He's tried his luck, and it's gone in, and he's got that goal. But we definitely need to be building on that against 10 men. You've got to be clinical. You've got to go. The Marlon moment was a big moment. I thought when he went through, I thought he's going to score here. He's a good finisher, but it wasn't to be good defending from Sunderland. Like I say, I give Sunderland an element of credit for how they performed today with the majority of the game with 10 men. Up until Cash scored, the best thing any Villa player had done this season was get kicked in the bollocks, and that was Cash as well. These are the parameters that we're working in with Villa at the moment. It's massive. It's just massively frustrating because, again, I've not got excited too many times that we're going to score today, and I've repeated it, and I've said it 3 times now. We will not get a better chance to win a game this season. What are we doing? Fulham won't be easy next week in the Premier League. They're a decent outfit, Fulham. They've got some good players. They're playing for each other. At the moment, maybe there's an element of us being resolute, and I can see that and almost see defensively that we're playing for each other to an extent. I'm talking a small extent here, by the way. But going forward, we're not helping each other out. Like some of the weight of passes and the slowness. There was a point when someone, I think it was Mings, played the ball to Rodgers, and he's almost just let it go out of play, and just the body language again. I'm no body language expert, but he doesn't look right. Rodgers doesn't look right at all. He's finally been pulled in a game. I don't think it's the right time to be singling players out because it's all of them. It's a collective. It's the manager. It's the staff. It's the players. It's absolutely everyone together. Like that, you're in it together. When we're winning, I've always thought it's a team effort under Emery, and when we're stinking out the joint like we are at the moment, I think it's a collective problem. I keep getting asked like, what's the problem? Everything I go on, I get asked what the problem is. There's too many at the moment to kind of pull together. Lots and lots of little things are causing Villa to be in the slump that we're in at the moment, and I'm not sure at the moment how we get out of it either. I think when we've had I don't think we've had a run like this under Emery really. Maybe we did have one last season. I think maybe we went 8 games without winning, but that was across multiple competitions. Watching us at the moment, I'm struggling to see how we're going to get pulled out of this. I really am. Something needs to change from the team selection to the subs, maybe even to the system at this point, because we're too predictable and too easy to play against now. The teams that we've played against this season, they've all got some form of result against us now. So that tells me that we're way too easy to play against, and that it's a little bit slow and it's a little bit predictable. Thought Gasson was decent. Thought he had some good moments. Was impressed with his work rate defensively as well. Like I've said, I think Conte made a couple of crucial interventions in the first half. Defence collectively switched off for that second goal, and it's absolutely killed us. People are asking me to be ruthless and single people out in the chat. Like I've said, there's no one to single out. It's a collective thing at the moment. People having a go at me. Like I'm not in control of what happens on the pitch. All I do is come on here and give my opinion about what's happening. Everyone's saying I'm being too nice. I'm being honest. I'm giving my opinion on the game. I don't know if people want me to start stomping my feet and shouting. I've never done that. Having one of those rants that makes people YouTube famous and Twitter famous or fucking TikTok famous or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm a 40-year-old man. You're not going to see that from me. So if you want that, you probably come to the wrong place to watch it. I've just seen there someone saying about Watkins being my best mate or whatever it was, that he should have scored. I've said that he should have scored at the end there. He didn't get on the end of it. But people saying he's been missing chance after chance this season. I haven't watched our games properly then, because that isn't what's happened at all. That was the first time, I'd say all season, anyone's put any kind of service in for him in Jadon Sancho, who I thought looked good when he came on as well, that he thrives off, and he's missed it. He probably couldn't believe that he got a chance in front of goal, in all honesty, the way that we've been playing this season. So, I've said I'm not going to single people out because it's a collective thing. But yes, I agree. Ollie Watkins should have scored that chance at the end. I'm not stupid. I've got eyes. I can see what's happening on the pitch. Lots of people saying Unai out, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Let me tell you now, if Unai Emery left this football club tomorrow, this football club would be going down to the Championship. That's how big he is. That's how important he is to this football club. I guarantee you, if Unai Emery was to leave this football club back down to the Championship, we would be going absolutely nowhere without Unai. He's the one that's going to turn it around. Ultimately, he's the best manager that we've ever had in my lifetime. I agree, something needs to change, but it being the manager No, not for me. He's got to try and work a system with these players that's going to get the best out of them, and we've got to find a way to get our big players thriving again, because at the moment, no one is thriving. I can name a couple of players today that have probably put in a 7 out of 10. But other than maybe the goalkeeper last week against Everton, I wouldn't be marking anyone above a 7 out of 10 in any game this season. In fact, most of them I would mark at a 5 or 6 if I'm being kind. Yeah, not sure what else to say really. Ian says Sancho needs to start. We need something different. They're building him into the team. I'd like to have seen him on earlier actually. When we had Elliott and Maatsen come on, I'd have put Sancho on at the same time. To be honest, he's I think he's going to suit the way Unai likes to play. And I think the way Villa play when they're at their best will suit Jadon Sancho as well. You know, Morgan Rogers, like I said, I don't really want to single people out, but Morgan Rogers should have been hooked earlier on today, and he should have been hooked in previous games as well. He's not at it at all. He's absolutely miles off it. It's a collective problem, but Rogers is part of that. And as your main attacking outlet, which is what Rogers is at the moment, he's not doing it. It's not good. Look, people who are slating the manager and whatever and slating certain players, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just coming out here giving my opinion, not prepared to stomp my feet and be a child at 40 years of age. But yeah, this is what happens. Andy Brogan, who seems to be very, very upset today. In fact, his comments disappeared so quickly because everyone's Big Ron, John Gregory and Brian Little were in your lifetime. Don't talk crap. Unai isn't better than any of them. I know John and Brian pretty well. Love them both. Watch their teams. Love their teams. Unai Emery as a manager is the best manager we've had. That, to me, that's a fact. You know, it isn't because it's my opinion. But Andy, I think you're getting angry with the wrong person here. You seem to be constantly hammering everything that I'm saying. Well, I don't know what you want from me. It's not my fault Villa are pish at the moment. I just happen to be someone that talks about them. Leighton Castle says, seems that the same players that have stopped listening to the man that has made them all immensely better players. Yeah, I'd go along with that a little bit at the moment. It doesn't feel like it's the kind of collective that it was. It doesn't feel like messages are being taken on board. If I'm to be brutally honest, and I'm happy to be honest about this, it does. If you watched Villa, you would say they aren't playing for the manager. You would say that watching them. I think that would be a fair assessment. I don't know why that would be, because obviously Leighton's saying there, you know, this manager has made these players, and I would completely go along with that and agree with that. But if you watch Aston Villa, and, you know, we've said it about other teams in the past and we've said it about other Villa teams in the past, if you're watching them out there for the first 5 games of this Premier League season and the Brentford Cup tie, you would probably be coming up with a reasonable conclusion that they're not playing for the manager. I think that's a fair thing to point out. The biggest thing is why, and I don't have that answer. If I had that answer, obviously I'd be a genius. I probably wouldn't be sat here on YouTube. I'd probably be involved in the club in some respects, but I'm not. I'm sat in my office talking about Villa. Really appreciating that everyone's getting involved, even the people that are absolutely hammering me for no reason at all. Villa Dave says, I think Ron Saunders was better. I might look old, but I never saw a Ron Saunders team. So in my lifetime, I can't speak for anything. The Claret and Blue podcast are desperate to start their show. I mean, why you would want to start your show after listening to and watching me so far, Rollo, I've got absolutely no idea. But when I have finished, if you can stomach someone else talking about Villa and you want to have a go at someone else, some of you that are in the chat, go and have a go at Rollo, because it's just as much his fault as it is mine. And just a reminder that people that do podcasts and post on social media and whatnot, and maybe have amassed slightly large followings, it's not their fault when Villa don't do well. There's nothing that they can do to control this. It's just because I don't share the same opinion as some people and I don't want Emery out, doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Doesn't mean I'm an idiot or anything like that. It's just an opinion. Captain K says, I went into today not expecting a win, so we scored a goal and never lost. Well, I kind of agree with that. Everyone will know who watched the match preview that I didn't think we were going to win today either. But I didn't know the circumstances that Villa were going to be playing against 10 men for a lot of the game. And I didn't know the circumstances that Villa were going to be going ahead. So I get that. But in the situation we were in, it's a must. In our situation, generally as a club at the moment as well, struggling, you have to win that game. I'm not trying to dress something up. Villa have to win that game today. It's not good. I did just see your message, Andy Brogan. Thank you. Maybe you weren't hammering me. Maybe I was being too sensitive. So thank you for telling me that you love me, and thank you to Robert Boyle, who's saying he loves me as well. I feel like just digging in now, being the opposite of what Villa are doing, and just staying on just to annoy Rollinson because I know he's desperate to start. I told him I'd be no longer than 15 minutes. Do I just stay on now for a laugh and just stop him from starting to it? Can I take some enjoyment out of what's just happened? That feels like to me the only way that I'm going to be able to take some form of enjoyment out of this day. I will say I'm really looking forward to watching the next game on the telly at 4:30. This is the situation that we're in at the moment. I really am enjoying all the other teams at the moment. I'm watching all the other football, and thankfully I get to talk about the other teams later on as well for the Guardian. So if you can stomach more of me, I'm doing the Guardian football podcast, Football Weekly, sorry, tonight as well. So I get to talk about Villa and all the other teams as well. Tim Roberts is so. This is what I mean. You can't win. Whatever I do, I can't win. Dan, you are over the top. Calm it down. This is a rebuild season. The season started when the transfer window closed. Players need to get used to each other. We tried to pass the ball forwards. Not sure I agree with that, Tim. I agree to the extent of, obviously, it was a very disruptive first 3 games because of the transfer window being open and the way we were operating as a club. The situation, in some extent, we've been forced into. But I think we've had 3 games since the transfer window shut. We've scored 2 goals that were basically gifts across 2 competitions, and we haven't won a game still. So the Villa should have enough to beat 10 men Sunderland away from home. Let's not kind of skate around this at all. Aston Villa should absolutely have enough to win that game today, and they haven't had enough to win that game. So we all have to ask questions of that. We can have our opinions that, the manager's a god still, which I do have that opinion. But you can also have the opinion that alongside that, Aston Villa absolutely should have enough to win that game today. Edie says need Yuri back ASAP. Having a central midfield would help, having the players in central midfield. But I honestly don't think that that's the only issue out there at the moment. We had Tillemans and Kamara for the first game, and we didn't really look like scoring in that game. The players that we've got, we had Tillemans and Nana paired against Brentford, a £50 million midfielder, and Tillemans, who was our player of the season last season, didn't really look like winning that game at any point. John McGinn and Kamara should be enough in central midfield to beat 10 men, in my opinion. Michael Dimmock says, so if we don't change management, then what do we do, Dan? Genuine question. I mean, I don't think we will change management. It's not something that Villa would. I think we could be bottom of the league with half the season gone, and I don't think the club would change because it's geared so much around Unai. Villa's such a unique club in that perspective. But something needs to change. And as I've said, I just do podcasts on Villa. I don't have the answer. I wish I did. I wish I could understand what I'm seeing out there at the moment, but I can't, and it's not good. But something does have to change. The manager, who I'm saying is a hero, has to change something now because we have been sussed out. We have been found out. Teams are finding it too easy to play against us, and teams aren't getting beat by us. So that's a huge problem. So something needs to change. You can look at the selection before the game. Would not have been the side that I would have picked today. I'm not digging out Luca Dean because he's been brilliant for 2-3 years for us, but I just think we need some pace in the side at the moment, and Matson's got that genuine pace. He's got to be playing at left back for me at the moment. In that game in particular, Harvey Elliott must be starting. Again, not digging out Buendia. But the last time the guy was a regular starter for Villa was in Unai Emery's first half of season, and we're supposed to have come on leaps and bounds since then. And maybe that's a sign of where we are now. Maybe we're kind of back to trying to get top 7 rather than trying to get top 5, top 4. Looking at us this season, top 4, top 5 is going to be a massive stretch. Best chance of getting Champions League is Europa League, but you'll still need to score goals and win games in the Europa League, and we're just not capable of that at the moment. But Buendia, not really. I like him because he tries to play the ball forward, but he couldn't get in the team this time last year when Philogene and people of the like were about, and now he's starting every game. Harvey Elliott for me, he might have only been able to do 60, 70 minutes, but get him in from the start. He should be. Harvey Elliott had a pre-season with Liverpool. He's been involved with Liverpool. That guy should have enough to play 90 minutes. I'd imagine he's pretty surprised that he's not started that game today. He won't want to be swapping the Liverpool bench for the Villa bench. He'll absolutely start the next Premier League game. I'm sure of that. But probably go because I don't want to stitch Rollinson up. Obviously, he's my mate and he wants to do it. Loads of you here live. How how do proper YouTube streamers keep up when they've got like millions of people watching them? I don't know how they keep up with the chat, because I can't keep up with it. I'm not good enough. I'm like Villa. I'm not good enough at the moment. So thank you to everyone, even the people that disagreed with me, even for the people that don't like what I've said and maybe don't like me. Absolutely fine. It's we are where we are, and obviously tempers are going to be frayed when Villa are not very good, and we're not very good at the moment. But I do really, really appreciate everyone joining in or trying to join in, because I can't involve you because it's too fast for me. No identity, someone's just said in the chat. Completely agree with that. At the moment, let's go. Let's let Rollo do his show on Claret and Blue. So if you want to go over and hear Dan Rollinson and Matt Lynch have a chat, go over to Claret and Blue. They're a bit of old school Villa View action there for those that remember. I'm going to go. I'm not going to bother to ask you to subscribe and stuff like that. Feels a bit futile in times when Villa are struggling. Go and watch Rollo, or go and enjoy the other football that's going to be on in 9 minutes' time, because that'll be a good game, won't it? That'll be a hell of a game. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend, or what's left of it. Try not to let Villa get you down too much, and just try and enjoy a Sunday with your family, or whatever you're doing today, and watch the football. Let's go. As always, we'll end with an up the Villa. So up the Villa, up the pathetic Villa.